final awaits the winners of this showdown between arch-rivals St Helens and the Wigan Warriors here at the Totally Wicked Stadium. For the losers, there's a second chance with a home game against the Salford Red Devils, but Saints and the Warriors want to avoid that and reach Old Trafford at the first attempt, and Saints will fancy their chances as they've beaten Wigan 3 times already this season. And Saints will be the freshest of the two after a 2-week break, and they've virtually a fully fit squad to choose from. Only change from the side that beat Hull FC 22-6 in their last game is Aaron Smith back with James Bentley missing out. It's Lachlan Coote at fullback, Makinson and Grace the wings, Nagama and Percival centres, Johnny Lomax making his 200th Super League appearance, and Theo Farge in the halves. In the forwards, Alex Wormsley, James Roby, this is his 30th play-off tie, Luke Thompson, Zeb Tyre, Dominic Peyrou and Morgan Knowles. And on the bench, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, Kyle Amor, this his 299th career appearance, Jack Ashworth and Aaron Smith. Bentley missing out. Coach, could it be his final home game? He is hoping so, Justin Holbrook. Now Wigan, hoping to reach their 6th grand final in 7 seasons, make one change from the side that defeated Salford in the playoff game last week. Oliver Partington returns after suspension. Joe Greenwood is the man to drop out. Hardacre at fullback, Marshall Burgess the wings, Hankinson, Gildart centres, still no Dan Sargentson, George Williams and Thomas Luluai. The forwards, Tony Clubb, Sam Powell, who suffered a wrist injury last week, was a doubt, but plays tonight with that left wrist heavily strapped. Partington returns to ruffle a few feathers, no doubt. Liam Farrell, Willie Isa and Sean O'Loughlin making his 450th Wigan appearance. And on the bench, Ben Flower, Liam Byrne, who's back on the bench having started last week, Morgan Smithers and Bevan French, and the coach is Adrian Lamb. And as you'd expect for a game of this magnitude, great turnout. Saints fans and their opposite numbers from just over the hill. The Wigan Warriors fans here in good number, hoping to see their side progress to Old Trafford once again. The reigning champions in their change blue kit take the field alongside their hosts. But it won't be particularly neighbourly tonight, because that is what is at stake ultimately, that Bedford Super League trophy, to be fought for on October the 12th at Old Trafford. Mike Rush pacing in the background, the St Helens chief executive. Nerves all round. And among the youngsters coming out with the players tonight is 6-year-old Oscar Hutchinson, who is referee mad. There he is alongside referee Chris Kendall. Oscar has his own kit. As you can see, he's got his own microphone. He's taped up. I think he's even got a dummy backpack in those shorts. And at the DW Stadium on a match day, you can see him running up and down the sidelines. He's on the far side of the commentary box from us. You can see him running up and down the sidelines, keeping tabs on the touch judge and the match officials. He's obviously going to grow up to be a referee in the future.
He's going to get a job next year. He certainly looks the part, doesn't he? A little strut when he come on the field. He's confident.
They strut, do they, referees?
Yeah. They know that it's all about them. They've got to make sure that they're the boss out of the 27 people that's on the pitch at one time. They've got to make sure that they are the ones in control. And speaking of in control, Adrian Lamb, well, he's been in these situations. And he used to play for the Warriors. He knows exactly what it's going to be like. It's going to be a tough encounter. And I think this game will get nasty. Oh, it will get nasty, Bill. You've got a chance to get into Old Trafford. Your nearest and dearest is going to knock you out. You can't forget to play rugby, though.
It's 5 years since these great rivals last crossed swords in playoff football, and that was at Old Trafford, where Saints prevailed 14-6. And a lot of people suspecting that might be what happens on October the 12th. But the Salford Red Devils might have something to say about that. Their coach Ian Watson, our guest here at the Totally Wicked Stadium tonight, and they await the losers of this one. Here is Sean O'Loughlin starting tonight. That's an interesting ploy.
Well, he's the most influential player that Wigan have got and that they have had in the last, 15 years. He's a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete, leads by example, and exactly what you need in the early stages in a big game like this.
In his 35th playoff tie, Sean O'Loughlin. Here he is in possession just now. James Roby's 30th playoff tie in the opposite side. Roby there just trying to chase down the kicker.
Well, Roby will be happy with that defence to contain Wigan to 30 metres from their own try line to start a game. Pretty impressive there with the speed of the play of the ball, the good technique. And look, already here with Makinson, they're just about up to the halfway line.
And Ian Watson was saying that if the weather was on Wigan's side, then that would help them. But in actual fact, after a foul day, and it has really chucked it down most of the day in the northwest of England, it has actually dried up, and the conditions are not bad at all. And the pitch, despite all this rain, in very good shape. It'll be a bit soft though. Here is Fage and Dom Peru. Great run from the second row.
Wasn't that glorious footwork? He beat the hard chasing Oliver Partington. High kick to the corner.
The first test for Burgess, and he's equal to it.
Well, Phil talked about Wigan getting struggling to make meters. Saints didn't struggle, and look at him here now defending on the front foot. I think there's going to be a couple of targets on the likes of Tony Clubber and Ollie Partington from the Saints middlemen. They're going to look to really take the game to them.
Here's Burgess playing the ball. O'Loughlin onto Luluai. Oof! Percival very quickly. And Willie Isa. Hardacre now. Lomax with the tackle. Johnny Lomax, St Helens newly crowned player of the year. Luluai puts the kick in, and again it's good work from the Saints.
Yeah, we'll kick it into the corner, restrict those meters, just 21 metres Wigan made. We saw that they looked to shift it. They didn't have any joy going forward off the ruck, trying to find that space.
Johnny Lomax has got a whack already on the cheek. Shrugs it off. Shrug of the shoulders. Makinson now. And Saints, 2 tackles gone, 3, and look where they are already as Luke Thompson drives it in. Partington down low to make the tackle. Here is Theo Fage to Wormsley. Wormsley uprooted by Willie Isa. Roby. Lachlan Coote puts a crossfield kick in. Theo Fage chases, and Saints get the first try of the game. Theo Fage with his 7th of the season. Coote's kick, and Saints, on the back of some great defence that had restricted Wigan territorially, make the most of it and get the start that Justin Holbrook wanted.
Couldn't really get a better start, could he, Justin Holbrook? Struggling in the 2 sets that they've had the ball, Wigan to get away from their try line. Saints just chewing up those meters, getting on the front foot, kicking on the front foot, and Theo Fage just tracks up the middle to come up with the opening try of this game. You know, he made his debut for Salford in 2013. Hasn't he come on since then? Theo Fage, the French international, quality player and a quality kick here.
And we've all picked up how ferocious the defence has been from St Helens. Right from the first set of 6, Oliver Partington, Tony Clibb, cutting them off at the ad line, making sure the meters made territorially was all slanted in the favour of St Helens. And what a glorious kick that was. Great kick, great chase, and first points.
Coote with the kick that set it up, and Coote with the conversion attempt now to take him closer to 100 goals this season. He is on target. That's his 96th success with the Boots.
He'll be happy with that one, won't he? 1 from 5 in his last game at home, but he's got the first conversion over, and he's got the first kick in to set up the try. A little bit similar to how Salford scored with Niall Valls last night. Kick against the flow of play. It's very hard for Hardacre to change direction. With what he's facing out, needs to turn quickly. But the accuracy of that attacking kick, absolutely fantastic, and Saints where they want to be. 6 points up inside the first 10 minutes.
Great home record this season. That restart has almost caught Saints napping.
And you talked about Sean O'Loughlin and the decision to start Sean O'Loughlin. I think that's an admission that they need a good start. They need to match the tempo of St Helens. So far, 5 minutes on the clock, they've failed to do that. But the experience of that man will just calm everybody down, get back to the nuts and bolts of what we set out to do before the kick-off.
The Saints making good progress from the restarts, and Luke Thompson plays the ball into the middle of the field with Peru. That's 4 tackles gone. Roby. Here is Lomax. Zeb Tyre. That's the 5th tackle on the halfway line. Roby, and it's Coote again. This time he goes high with the kick. A Hardacre underneath it, and Hardacre claims it and manages to get a bit of distance.
That's a big set after scoring points and also after letting the ball bounce. Nobody took the ball, but all of a sudden they recover from that, don't they? And look how dominant they are. You've got Alex Walmsley that sat Ollie Partington down on the ground. You've got Tony Clubb flying out the line of Luke Thompson. There's going to be some big battles, some big clashes, and at the minute, Saints are on top.
It's Chris Hankinson playing the ball. Hankinson again in the side. Dan Sargenson's hamstring injury keeping him on the sidelines for the Wigan Warriors. Now here's Partington, the 21-year-old prop, back in action, having served a 1-game suspension. And Hardacre launches that kick downfield. Coote collects.
Well, every kick that they seem to have got the Saints, they've brought it back more or less to halfway or in Wigan's half, so field position is stacked heavily in Saints' favour. You can see that Wigan trying to wrestle them, slow them down, make the rucks really slow, try and force that error. They're just not having any joy though.
The Super League's top try scorer, Tommy Makinson, just over the halfway line. Luke Thompson now. Oh, Thompson has burst through the middle. Is anybody in support? Farge was trying to get there, but Hardacre manages to make the tackle, but Thompson driving a huge wedge into that Wigan defence, and they could profit here. Coote's kick ahead, just too strong, and that's a let-off for Wigan.
Well, outstanding Luke Thompson, isn't he? The footwork, the power, he's got absolutely everything. Look at the balance that he's got here. Like a double step. He was a teenager when these sides met at Old Trafford in 2014, and hasn't he come on since then?
Come on to the extent that people are talking about him having an NRL career ahead of him.
He's unbelievable. He's a player that you want to build your club around and keep hold of him. Look at him putting pressure on there on Joe Burgess.
Wigan finding it hard to get any traction in this game early on.
Well, if you're a forward and you're looking at your centres like Mark Percival hitting like a sledgehammer, it also puts a lot of confidence in you as well.
There's George Williams making a bit of progress. The kick, though. And it's one for Regan Grace to retrieve near his own try line, and Wigan will be happy with that.
That's the best end to a set of 6 they've had in the opening 8 minutes. George Williams getting involved, although he had to tuck it under his wing and chew up a few metres. Wigan need to do to St Helens what they've done in the opening 8 minutes, which is get up quick, stop momentum, control these big back rows. What they do, St Helens, they pass it a couple of times and then drop Peru and Taya and just break up the defensive structure of their opposition.
Makinson, but Gildart wasn't going to let him get away. Nagama now. Kevin Nagama, whose last playoff appearance was back in 2013 in his Newcastle Knights days. So Coote under a bit of pressure. Wigan maybe just getting nearer the pace of the game.
Yeah, getting used to the pace of the game. Phil talking about them coming out and starting really quick, since everyone knows that, especially in a derby game, they look to blow you away. They've got good players that are like James Roby, Theo Fige and Adrian Lamb. I'm sure they would have been talking about what to expect from this Saints side playing at home in a major game to get to Old Trafford.
Fage with that try. There's Sam Powell, that left wrist heavily strapped. Williams, oh, the ball's intercepted. Nagama will go and nobody will catch him. The try presented on a plate for Kevin Nagama. 18th of the season for the Fijian centre. And Wigan, just as it seemed as though maybe they were coming to terms with the game and getting a foothold, present Saints with more points.
You're right, Bill. It just seemed to be evening out a little bit. And Wigan Warriors trying to compete with St Helens territorially. They're looking at the halfway line. It's a little bit slow and laboured. We talked about the importance of George Williams taking the line on, creating opportunities. It was a flat ball at the defensive line, and that's just class. St Helens in the right place. He snakes the arm out and has an easy run to the line.
There looks like a lot of panic in this, because you can see Naguama, he's already up in the line. It's not as though the ball's in the air and he shoots to get it. Wigan all of a sudden, like 10 minutes gone in this game, they're feeling the pressure of Saints. Saints are forcing the error, forcing the errors, forcing the pace of the game.
Going to see Lachlan Coote convert his second to make it 12-0, and the interesting thing that was the first time Wigan have had possession inside the opponent's half. And I say inside the opponent's half, I think George Williams is about 3 or 4 metres over the halfway line. They haven't played the ball in the opponent's half. He's just about over it, throws that pass. And whether that's the pressure, the desperation, knowing that they've had a little opportunity to attack, but very little patience there from Wigan. And the hill they had to climb just got a lot bigger.
Naguama, one of 5 St Helens players in the recently named Super League Dream Team. And it's been a dream of a start for the Saints.
Well, he's had a big impact this year, hasn't he? Along with his teammates who've just outplayed everyone, ripped up the Bucks, 16 points cleared at the top, and everyone's favourites to get to Old Trafford.
And what we've seen with St Helens is the pressure comes from the outside. On that occasion, the arm snakes out, they collect the try, but they're forcing Wigan down that middle channel, so players like Walmsley can deal with them.
Rumbling run from Alex Walmsley has left Tony Clubb on the deck and ultimately led to a penalty in favour of St Helens. Chris Kennell with the first of the game.
They're in the groove, aren't they, the big man? Alex Walmsley, the amount of times he wins contact, yeah, because he is big, he's enormous. Alex Walmsley, he's got a good work ethic as well, looks for work, looks to get Saints on the front foot. And again, they get the ball here just on halfway.
Here is Dominic Peyrou.
Move, Sean, out now! Wait! Go,
having a great season for the Saints. Whoa, Walmsley. O'Loughlin stopping him in his tracks with that tackle. Unfortunately, putting him down before he went over the horizontal. Great run from Morgan Knowles. Roby now. Lomax short pass. Zeptea. He's cut down about 10 metres out. Luke Thompson again, change of direction from Thompson, looking to wrong foot his opponents. This time Clubb and Co make the tackle, but they're that close. They're looking for further points here, are Saints, while they're dominating this match, and the ball bobbled over the dead ball line by Joe Burgess.
Well, there's always a debate in the world of rugby league as to whether it's more of an advantage to have a break. By finishing top, St Helens rested last week, they recovered, they've played every single game, they've been involved in the Challenge Cup all the way through to the final, they've played every Super League game, so their coach Justin Holbrook recognised a little bit of fatigue, and you have to say 13 minutes, they look fresh, they look fired up, and they're absolutely spot on.
It might have been climbing Snowdon that helped, because that's what they did while they were on their time off. They climbed Snowdon as a group, and then went whitewater rafting as well. Sounds like a great,
yeah, it does.
It does. Bonding session, doesn't it? Yeah. Here's Luke Thompson now.
They want to do Kilimanjaro next, Bill.
Or the Grand Canyon. Good luck, Barry. Here's Theo Fage. Lomax short ball. Peyrou. 10 metres out, he is tackled. Farrell and Williams on duty there. Walmsley now. Saints again, and there's a penalty. Liam Farrell just subtly trying to slow things, not subtle enough though. Penalty conceded.
And Justin Albert saying, "No, let's take 2 points here." This would be a big lead, wouldn't it? 14 minutes gone, 14 points in front. It's really difficult to control Alex Walmsley. When he gets going forward, you can see that the man who goes down, Ollie Partington, he's a legs tackle, is never going to be dominant. The man up top has got to make sure he wraps that ball up and he turns Alex Walmsley onto his back. It's easier saying it, but trying to do it's a different thing.
I think that's the 3rd or 4th time I've seen Liam Farrell trying to handle Alex Worms. I'm guessing if I'm Liam Farrell here, and I played in that match, Salford and Wigan last week, and Jackson Hastings scored a wonderful try, but Liam Farrell missed that tackle. He will take stuff like that personally. That's why he started this game on a mission.
Well, Alex Worms is walking back. He's assumed that this kick's going over and he's getting ready to take the restart. He's back in his own half already. It's interesting, the last game he played for St Helens, he played for a total of 40 minutes in that match. That kick goes over, there's 2 more points. Alex Worms had played in 4 bursts. 17 minutes came off, he had 8 minutes before half-time, then had a big rest, another 8-minute chunk, and then came on at the very end. They do use him. I mean, we've tried to reduce the interchanges, the number of subs that you can have to make the game more competitive, but they use him explosively in very short bursts, and it's been highly effective for the Saints this season.
It's an interesting combination, that, isn't it? Because Luke Thompson has got a fantastic engine.
Well, you'd always have 2 that complement each other, don't you? And they certainly do. It seems to be the winning formula that the coach has got. He starts these 2 players, they do the damage, and then they have a bit of a breather, come back on. And also, when you've got wingers like that who
Makinson carving his way through. Sorry, Terry.
Incredible, isn't it? You know, like, you forward, your props go forward, you've got wingers likes of him and Regan Grace, then you've got Thompson on the back of it. It just seems to be relentless at the minute.
Wigan spending most of this game on the back foot, in reverse, as they are again. Percival, Willie Isa with the tackle. Partington was hanging around as well. Here's Morgan Knowles, the young Welsh international. Powell and O'Loughlin taking their time there. It's with Farge, and then Farge lost this one. Burgess, tall winger, makes that his.
Well, they need to get out of trouble, Bill. They need to make sure that they can get to the kick, get some distance on the kick. They probably need 3 or 4 sets to get the breath back.
I agree,
Tez. At the minute, they're really struggling, the Warriors.
I agree, Tez. Although they're doing the hard yards away from their own line, another decent effort from George Williams. The damage was done. Saints made 58 metres in 3 separate charges upfield. They have to reduce that, Wigan Warriors.
17 minutes gone, that's the 5th tackle. St Helens very much in charge of this game. Early days yet.
And Morgan Smithy's on the field, Tony Club off, Bill. So the changes by Adrian Lamb, thinking, no, we're not having any joy here. We need to just try and get some fresh legs on there and see if we can mix it up a bit.
Just inside their own half. Saints.
That was a telling start, that. Almost twice the metres made when St Helens are carrying the ball. They're finding metres easy to make. The play of the ball is quick, and then that brings players like James Roby into the game, and it's a retreating defence that's fractured. It's not a solid blue line.
It's the 5th tackle. Nguama, the man, brought down, then Coots. This one's again for Burgess to challenge for, and Burgess makes that his. The Wigan winger on 100 tries now, Joe Burgess. Not much indication that he's going to get a chance to improve on that tally so far.
Well, he's a big player, isn't he, Joe Burgess? You would have thought that they would have kicked over to Liam Marshall and the smaller players up against Mark Percival and Regan Grace over on the right-hand side for the Warriors. And Ollie Partington putting his hands up, not having much joy.
Powell doesn't really seem to be too inconvenienced by that wrist problem. Oh, now then, Hankinson is away. He's got Marshall in support. Marshall gets past the first challenge. Grace trying to get him, but Marshall will go in close to the sticks, and Wigan have found a way to get round the Saints' defence. And a try out of nothing really there. And Hankinson made the break. And Liam Marshall gets his 15th of the season.
Well, he's a player that'll be eager to get to Old Trafford. He missed last year's grand final, didn't he, Liam Marshall? Good awareness here from Chris Hankinson. He didn't panic. He knew that what he had to do was get up the field and draw the fullback Lachlan Coote to create that space out wide. Good playing at the line. Zach Hardacre does a decent job getting Mark Percival interested. He gets that 2-on-1, and Hankinson does the rest with Marshall.
Wigan tend to favour that golden left side, that golden left edge, but when they've come over to the right, the hard-working Willie Isa runs a harsh line. and then the smart Zach Hardaker knows that little bit of an in and out step that he's got. He brings one defender, brings the other, and then it's a 2-on-1 for Hankinson, who sums it up perfectly.
That's perked the Wigan supporters up the other end of the ground. And Hardaker, whose pass sent Hankinson away, now with the opportunity to add 2 more points. 14-6, Wigan in business. And Oscar, the miniature referee, approving of that.
He used to give us the sign. It was a try, and it was an important one for Wigan. Very important. When you're outplayed for 20 minutes, which is the Warriors have had, and yet can find yourselves here just 8 points behind, you've got to imagine what that's done to put a little bit of doubt, perhaps some apprehension into St Helens players. They've absolutely hammered their opponents and yet stood under the post, watch a converted try, and know that they've got to start all over again here now to reassert that dominance.
Liam Marshall hoping that if Wigan do go all the way to Old Trafford, he'll get a look in this time, because last year he was their leading try scorer with 17 tries, but missed out on the big day.
Was it Don Manfredi's 2 tries in that grand final, and of course he's on the road to recovery, so Wigan blessed with a plethora of wingers.
Powell. Well, it's worked once, they'll give it another try maybe. Here is Williams. Little skip from Williams, gets the pass away to Hankinson. Hankinson, though, is brought down by Percival. Willie Isa now. Real solid presence, Willie Isa, ever present in all 32 games for the Warriors this season. Oh, that was looked forward. It was Chris Kendall and his officials working in harmony.
Well, he hits good lines, doesn't he, Liam Farrell, but just overruns this from his captain, Sean O'Loughlin. But the pass goes forward from the pressure from Saints in defence. Just getting off the line, getting into the captain of Wigan, Sean O'Loughlin. I think it was Dominic Peru, isn't he, a tough player.
Let's go. Come on, Wigan. Let's go.
Grand final coming up Saturday, October the 12th, 5 o'clock. We're on air from Old Trafford, Sky Sports Arena for that. And if you want information on it, there you go. That's the website to visit, superleague.co.uk, for all your grand final information. Saturday, October the 12th. 2 weeks tomorrow. Wow.
Flies by, doesn't it? Flies by.
Well, Alex Walmsley's gone off now, and the captain of enthusiasm for Saints is on in Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He certainly does give him a lift, probably winds up the opposition. Louis does.
Roby to Morgan Knowles, and now here is Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Roby, Knowles, and now Luke Thompson, and Partington, and Smithies doing the tackling there. Coote, little kick ahead into some space, and Hardaker able to spot the ball. He just had the referee in his eye line for a moment there. Did well, the fullback.
Good job, he was loitering with intent at the back then, Zach Hardaker. He's a big game player, seemed to turn up to nothing. Get the penalty, to the Wigan fans' delight.
Their first of the game, Wigan.
And that could be the key for Wigan Warriors. We've seen how they've failed to get over the advantage line through Tony Clubb. Players like Oliver Partington, a little bit wide, 2 passes out, or wingers getting out and taking an awkward angle and trying to get outside into defenders D and E. That might help them.
3 times these sides have met this season. Each time Saints have won, and the first one was January the 31st. That's when this whole thing started, on a snowy night here at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
Seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
Oh.
Since that encounter. Kicked off round 1 with derbies everywhere, didn't we? Big attendance from the fans who turned up on the terraces. Getting that look forward. The inside pass from Williams.
Partington plays the ball. Ben Flowers on. He just got a warm reception from the Saints pack. Here's Isa, and Isa's lost that ball.
He's dropped that. The pass was a little bit behind him, a little bit low, and the execution is slightly off from Wigan. And again, I'm going to say it, I don't believe going tight to the ruck is good for Wigan. A little bit of width, getting at those edge defenders might be the way forward. Thomas Luluai under pressure from Zeb Taylor. There's the reaction of the coach.
Frustration for Adrian Lamb. Because it's going to be a night where Wigan might not. They might be living on scraps.
Well, they can't allow themselves to get frustrated because there's clearly still in this contest 8 points behind. The last 2 occasions they've had the ball, they've come up with handling errors, and yet they still have the opponents here within sight. Percival, brilliant run down the sideline if he can stay on Ireland.
Burgess eventually making the tackle on Mark Percival. Is Nakama now. Try scorer with that intercept from George Williams' pass. The Saints got off to a flying start. Wigan have pegged them back. Peru just over the halfway line.
Go 3.
Knowles.
There's good little movement, little change of lanes at the line from Saints. They're having an awful lot of joy. Going direct, then skipping out.
It's the skip from Lomax. Now here's Roby. Roby across the field. Lomax, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook was on his shoulder. There is Louis. Theo Farge. Farge with a little kick. Oh, little kick. And it was Coote who was on the follow-up. And if his feet hadn't gone from underneath him, I'm sure he would have got that try. That was a let-off for Wigan, I think.
Well, the amount of times that Saints have Wigan near their own line, then they kick back towards the sticks. They obviously think that that's a weakness. They obviously have looked at it thinking, look, the other side of the ruck, they must switch off. Let's make sure that we stay alert and expect the ball to come back towards the centre field.
And it is the role of the fullback to track that ball. When it goes back to the opposite side, you're almost relying on the winger to be extra alert, and if he's too far away, it's an impossible task.
Justin Holbrook watching on there, hoping that this will be the final home game of the season. This will be his farewell to the Totally Wicked Stadium, because that will mean that the next stop will be Old Trafford before he goes back to Australia to take up the reins at Gold Coast.
Some good efforts from Oliver Partington.
Here is Farge. Farge, short pass. Roby. Here is Lomax. Lomax, little step, and then to Theo Farge. Farge signals to Dom Peru to cut back the other way, and Peru obliges. Now Roby. Roby's pass. Oh, Thompson, it opens up, and he didn't need a second invitation. The door was flung open wide for Luke Thompson. Come on in, and he duly obliged. And Luke Thompson just cruised in for his 8th try of the season, and the goal line dropout yields more points for St Helens.
Well, he deserves that, the front row. He runs as hard whether he's collecting it from the kickoff or he's 10 metres away from the line. It was a nice, honest line that created that space. Very big and strong on the edges with Dom Peru and Zeb Taylor. You look at the work that Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, because he's such a polarising player, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, he does get under the skin of opposition, so they'll forget what they're doing. They want to get a whack on him, and they've forgotten the job at hand is to tackle the bloke with the ball.
Well, he's happy, back in control. Luke Thompson walks back to halfway line, and I'm sure one of the roles we probably just skipped over there was the pass from James Roby, the man in the centre there. He throws over 100 passes a game, and sometimes we just ignore the quality of them, but his decision-making there, it was a nice, simple pass. He found the right man. His peripheral vision knew there was a chance to score, but invited that front rower to just charge on it through the gap. 6 more points.
You know, I think he's got absolutely everything, this man, Luke Thompson. Just have a little look at him setting up. He's just behind the sticks. He's telling players what he wants. He wants someone to go through as a dummy runner because he's already spotted it. Someone hits a good line, and he knows there's going to be space there. It's not just your typical prop that tucks the ball under his wing and runs as hard as he can. He's got footwork. He can whack him in defence. He's got decent vision.
He's in a bit of form, try-scoring as well. He got a try-double in the game against Huddersfield Giants 3 weeks ago, the first try-double of his Saints career. And he's got a try for them tonight. 20 points to 6 then. Saints lead. Long way to go, but they seemingly on course for Old Trafford. Saturday, October the 12th. Half an hour almost gone in this game. Here is Thompson again, and they really do struggle to contain him, don't they?
They can't stop them. Any of the players, look at them all here. They're looking to tip the ball on. LMS went through the line, couldn't get the ball and receive a clean pass from Knowles. Decided to take the tackle. Kicking again, some pressure.
Fage. Smithies trying to get a hold of him, just had his shirt with a kick. Not the best, and Marshall, the try scorer for the Wigan Warriors, gathers the ball.
Well, Bill, there's a lot of deception, there's a lot of movement from Saints. Some decent line speed as well for the Warriors. Hankinson then just manhandle, looking to bounce across the line. There's no space though.
Good tackle. Liam Byrne on the field, and that's a warm welcome for the young Irish international.
Oh, my Caddy's head, Rhinos in Salford player. We do some over there, and when you look at the players in the St Helens shirts, it's the physical presence that smacks you in the face. They all look like bodybuilders. They're fit, they're strong, they're athletic, but to back that up, they are skillful as well.
Hardacre down the middle of the field, but doesn't get great distance on that, and Coote will be tackled just inside his own half. Nagama hit that ball at pace and gets past the first line of defence, and Farrell eventually gets a hold of him. Gildart there as well. Makinson, and Saints really coming forward at pace now.
Well, he took the first carry, then he takes the third carry. It's just too quick. Again, look how easy it is for Luke Thompson.
Just tearing into the Wigan defence, and there's almost groans of surprise from the Wigan supporters at the way their side is being bullied here tonight. And you don't see Wigan getting bullied like this very often. Roby's little kick, and this time the ball bounces kindly for the Warriors, and Hardacre has it.
He does a decent job to bend down and get that ball, but they just can't compete with Saints. Again, there's a mistake here. There'll be a head and feed here to Saints, but the speed of which they get down and play the ball. Gildart, knowing that he needs to try and punch a hole in the defensive line, he goes really hard, but he's hit by Peru. Knowles comes in as well to close it down, but Tommy Makinson, then Naguama, then Makinson, then Luke Thompson, and all of a sudden you're 10 metres from your line.
Sydney Roosters against Melbourne Storm is on Sky Sports Arena tomorrow morning, 10:45, to decide who will face Canberra. The English boys and co. Bateman's we're talking about Lomax with the pass. Wigan will be wishing John Bateman was here tonight. Instead he'll be in that grand final. Here is Luke Thompson. 10 metres out. Charge from Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. They managed to just deny him. Concern from those Wigan fans behind those posts that don't like what they're seeing at the moment, because it's the red V again pressing on this Wigan defence. Ben Flower determined in the tackle there. Short pass, Thompson looking for a second. That's the 5th tackle. Right under those posts. Roby scanning, gets the pass away to Lomax. Little step from Lomax and a try. Saints Player of the Year, Johnny Lomax. That is why he is so highly regarded. And Johnny Lomax cut open Wigan's defence there and gets his 17th try of the season. Dejection for the Wigan coaching team, because once again Saints just rolled them back, and Lomax ultimately took full advantage.
They've got so much energy, and they're just feeding off the mistakes from the Warriors. When you got Johnny Lomax, he's in red-hot form, isn't he? He's one of those players who wants the ball all the time. Willie Isa slips. You can see a number of Wigan players losing the footing in this game. Johnny Lomax stands wide of the ruck. He already knows what he's going to do. He has a little look at what's in front of him. He spots Willie Isa. Willie Isa, he's got an overchase. He loses his footing. He just steps off his left and goes over the try line.
And that opportunity comes off a mistake. According to our stats, St Helens have not made a handling error, and they are completing it over 90%. That kills teams when it comes time to defend and attack.
4 from 4 from Lachlan Coots. And with half-time approaching, Saints dominating this contest. 26-6 they lead. Johnny Lomax with the try, his 100th in Super League for St Helens, his 3rd try of the season against the Wigan Warriors.
Well, they dominated territorially as well. One of the stats you can look at is play the balls inside your opposition 20-metre zone. At this point in the game, St Helens have had 18. Wigan, not a single one. They've not been near their opponent's line with the ball in over 35 minutes.
More Rugby League action on Sky Sports on Sunday, 6:30, Sky Sports Arena, for the game that will decide who meets Toronto in the £1 million game. Toulouse Olympique against Featherstone Rovers. That's live Sunday evening, 6:30, and there is the £1 million game, Saturday, October the 5th, 7 p.m. on Sky Sports Arena, live from Toronto. A week later, the grand.
Another breakout? Same old, same old.
I just get really angry with these. They just don't go away.
We got you. It's time to try something new, something easy, something fast that has worked for countless people everywhere. Get a fresh new start with Proactive MD and an amazing new offer never seen before.
Proactive MD helps me get the acne under control. I wish I tried this sooner. I wish I knew this sooner.
Proactive MD is the only system with a prescription strength retinoid that penetrates deep to stop acne at the cellular level, and it keeps working for 24 hours, so new breakouts don't stand a chance.
I feel so good. I found what worked for me, which is Proactive, and now I'm free.
So, let's celebrate. Here's to a fresh start with a fresh face and a totally fresh offer. Order now and get Proactive MD at a special limited time price, just $19.95, and will include our new deluxe pore cleansing brush free. The soft charcoal bristles help draw out impurities and keeps your pores extra clean. And here's more reason to celebrate. Order before this clock runs out and will also include not 1, but 2 more specialized brush heads free. A micro-massaging silicone head for sensitive skin and a fine bristle brush for extra smoothing.
I really love the brush, and I love the fact that you can change the little heads. I felt like it was working and getting in there.
Plus, to make this deal even sweeter, we'll also include our Soothing Green Tea Moisturizer as a free bonus. Altogether, that's $142 of premium Proactive products for just $19.95.
Oh my gosh.
Proactive MD is guaranteed to work or your money back, but keep the free gifts no matter what. Hurry, this limited time offer won't last. Call 1-800-984-0912. That's 1-800-984-0912. Proactive MD, because it works.
Hardacre, or another Saints try, and Zach Hardacre did the job. Little kick ahead, Peru will chase, and in comes Hardacre again.
Well, they seem to be getting them all over the field, Saints. On either side, up the middle with Theo Fage. A decent offload from Morgan Knowles. Again, looking and showing to kick back. They force another set of 6 here. Look at this offload here. He's under some pressure. He cops one high. But the offload from Morgan Knowles, then the vision of Theo Fage to go straight up the middle and take on Zach Hardacre.
Well, St Helens have produced their best first half in the playoffs. They've played all season, 29 rounds in Super League, and they've been devastating in some of the games. But this is, in my opinion, the best first 40 they've played in 2019. They've saved it for when they've needed it. Well, you can dispel that myth about choking. This has been absolutely brilliant from them.
Good job, Zach Hardacre was on the ball there, first with the tackle on Fage, and then with the touchdown to deny Dominic Peru from the kick. But Saints might not have finished in the first half here, because they are pressing once more. That's the Wigan try line at the top of your picture. Fage, short pass, and the ball goes to ground. Zebtea couldn't take it.
You could see what he was trying to do then. Theo Fage trying to fix the defender, give the ball out to Zebtea, who had an inside ball that's coming from Lachlan Coote. You can see every time he gets the ball, Zeb Taylor, he does pull in defenders. He pulls in two in Hankinson and Luluai, and there was space on the inside for Coop.
They are particularly good at inside passes, St Helens. We saw Morgan Knowles take one. We've just seen an attempted one from Zeb Taylor, and yeah, they're not getting it right every single time, but what it does is it just holds up defenders. It just puts that element of doubt in the brain. They can't go forward at the speed that they want to do.
Long way to go in this game, and it's not beyond Wigan's capabilities to turn it round, but they're going to have to somehow get domination back, because Saints have dominated things so far.
Yeah, well, the talk in the changing rooms will be, if they can score 26 points in the first half, we can score 26 points in the second half. We just need to be better. We need to respect the ball.
I think Saints want to kill Wigan's hopes here. Any chance of doing anything against them. They've beaten them 3 times already this year. This would be 4, and they want to make sure if they play in the grand final, the hearts are shattered here after another strong performance.
Kick downfield, and Theophage will just put that ball over the dead ball line, bring the first half to a close, right in front of those Saints supporters, and the Saints coach thrilled, I'm sure. Not so thrilled, the Wigan coach Adrian Lamb. Blood on the face of Johnny Lomax, who has starred once again for this Saints side, who have moved within 40 minutes of a return to Old Trafford after a dominant first half performance, which has seen them score tries from Fage, Nagama, Thompson and Lomax. Coote converting 5 times. Saints completely in control, and Wigan with a massive job to do. And final is on Saturday, October the 12th. We're on air from 5 p.m. on Sky Sports Action and Sky Sports Main Event. Who will be contesting for that trophy? Well, St Helens are 40 minutes away from a return to Old Trafford, because they lead 26-6 here at the Totally Wicked Stadium, in total control of the Red V. And Wigan are going to have to come out in the second half with something special to try and deny Saints their place at Old Trafford and avoid having to take on confident Salford Red Devils at the DW Stadium next week, because that's the fate of the losers here tonight. And the way Salford have been playing, that's not a very tempting prospect.
You'd imagine that Ian Watson will be loving this. A derby game, playing the week before that they're going to another game, which would be a knockout, so he'll be licking his lips seeing these two just going hammer and tongue at it. And you look at our stats in the first half, Bill, 21 missed tackles the Warriors made, but it's not just the 21 missed tackles that they missed. It's the efforts that they've been doing. They've been driven backwards as well. We know that we've been seeing some of the young guns flying out the line and looking to knock back some of the Saints players, but they've just not been doing the decent stuff in defence. Been too easy for Saints.
Is Peru, as Saints look to carry on where they left off. And Coots with the kick. It's a deep one, it's a good kick, and Marshall having to retrieve that one. He's got work to do. So's Jenna Brooks on the sideline. Let's get the halftime news from Jenna.
Thanks very much, Bill. I spoke to Justin Holbrook. Actually heard Phil Clark say just before the break that this has got to be their best first 40 of the season. I put that question to Justin. He smiled and said, yeah, I think so. He said the job is half done and they just have to keep doing what they're doing. I asked as well about Johnny Lomax, who Justin said he does have a nasty cut on the side of his cheek, but he will stay and play on. As far as Adrian Lamb goes, defence was the biggest message. It's just not good enough. He said that must improve if they are to have a fighting chance and just to control the ball.
And there is the Wigan Warriors coach. His side need a good start to this second half. They need a break. They need to make Saints rattled.
Well, you said that Saints look like they've picked up where they left off. Our studio guest Ian Watson said the kicking game is crucial, and what they did, Saints, first set of 6, made the meters, kicked the ball into the pocket and made Wigan work incredibly hard. And their first couple of tackles, here they are now, Tackle 3, 4. They're over the 60-metre line.
It was Thompson playing the ball, and Lomax opens them up. Very nearly opened them up. Needed Willie Isa to make the tackle. Here's Coote. Little kick from Coote. He was chasing it, and Hardacre to the rescue once again.
Well, they seem to have space. They've got the time. They've got the composure. And he's got 3 options outside him, Lachlan Coote. And that unsettles the defenders in the Warriors jersey. So he goes at the line, seeing that space. So does Zach Hardacre, though. He rescues the day, but just 2 minutes into the second half, they've got a repeat set of 6 here.
Lachlan Coote's having a big game for St Helens tonight. Another of their dream team selections. And here is Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, grand final winner in 2014 against the Warriors. I can remember his post-match interview. It's clear as it's seared into my memory. That Louis
you don't
McCarthy.
forget stuff like that, do you?
That one, no. Hoping for a return to Old Trafford, the first since then. Louis and the Saints side. Is Nagama, first half try scorer, courtesy of a casual Wigan pass. And here's Farge, first blot on his copybook tonight from Theo Farge. Furious, the Frenchman.
Yeah, he's been good. It's the attacking shape that they've got. Look at the numbers at the back. He's got options. Lachlan Coote on that sweeping line. You've got Zeb Taylor that's running through. It's setting those decent attacking lines and the shape that Saints are after.
And they had Lachlan Coote out the back. I can't believe it's 12 months ago. St Helens and everybody in the ground was mourning the fact that they were losing the man of steel and the most important player in that side. Well, Lachlan Coote is just as important, just as integral.
He's more of a team player, Lachlan Coote, isn't
and
he?
makes everybody else play that little bit better, yeah.
This is the issue for Wigan. They can't make ground, they can't go forward. If they face them again in the grand final, would they have the confidence that they could still match them in the middle? Look, there was a tackle earlier on. I think there were 4 St Helens men came on to just close down and prevent a Wigan forward from making any ground. And again,
you're right, Phil. If they lose here tonight and if they can beat Salford next week.
Morgan Smithers it is playing the ball. Farrell, normally a real bundle of energy for the Wigan side. Liam Farrell.
You're off, you're off.
Williams to Hardacre. Hardacre is kicked down the middle of the field but sits up kindly for Regan Grace. Hardacre with the follow-up tackle. Luluai contributing as well. Coots. Here is Makinson. Luluai once more doing the tackling. Just over the halfway line with Mark Percival now.
Go through.
Percival, Roby, Luke Thompson.
Oh, another big tackle from Morgan Smithers.
Ben Flower down low. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook, big charge from him.
They've all got good footwork, haven't they, the big fellas for Saints.
Roby, off the back of that. Chance here, and chance taken by Zeptaya. And again, they just came rolling forward, the Saints. And on the back of that work, Wigan are dejected. Saints are celebrating. Zeptaya has got his 5th try of the season. And they are on their way to Old Trafford now, surely.
Well, they seem like an all-round side, don't they, this Saints? If you want to be tough with them, they'll be tough with you. LMS, look at that, good footwork. Talking about big fellas using the footwork at the line, changing those lanes. And then when you've got a fullback who's willing to go at the line, word a tackle, get a whack, but he knows that if he goes at the line, there's going to be some reward. 3 players that are there outside Lachlan Coote. He gives it to that man who's hitting the lead, Zeb Taylor.
There's a little bit of me that's shocked here tonight. The way that Saints have dominated the competition, 16 points, they've won the league, but I'm a little bit shocked in the distance and the way that they've undone Wigan. Wigan have had no answer to anything that St Helens have thrown at them.
I think those Wigan supporters are shocked as well. There's a sort of air of disbelief.
There was a good atmosphere. Yeah, when we were walking to the gantry, there was a good atmosphere. They were loud, they were singing, they were looking forward to the game. I suspect they weren't looking forward to the second half.
Well, they were hoping that we're going to be able to turn the tide, but it's just been more of the same. Coop with his first miss of the night. 30 points to 6. Saints lead. Stony-faced Warriors coach Zebtea, the latest try scorer.
Well, it's clear, isn't it? Wigan can't stop the Saints from marching down the middle. They opened the door with a quick play of the ball from one of the outside backs, and if you looked at every single one of them, it was very simple and very direct. They knew exactly which hole to run at, and they did it very effectively with some brilliance and subtlety at the end, adding 6 more points. Short restart from Wigan.
Oh, and they very nearly came up with it. Joe Burgess went for it. Wigan are going to have to turn the clock back, and if they're going to turn this round back to 2007, when they trailed 30 points to 6 at Bradford. 22-6 it was at half-time, 30 points to 6 at one stage, and they won 31-30. Pat Richards with that decisive drop goal. Can they match that 12 years on?
I'll go back 7 years previous to that. We played against Saints and we were beaten in the semi 54 points to 16, and we never recovered from that. We met them at Old Trafford in the final and the wobbles were already there in our head. We didn't know whether we could beat them. Saints were absolutely on fire.
Oof, everything's going for Saint Zebtea. That one could have gone anywhere. It went straight back into his hands. Here's Luke Thompson now. The Saints fans jubilant because this is a 4th win, surely. Ashworth with a good strong run. Zebtea. Willie Isa with that tackle. Coots again with a little kick, this time too strong.
Theo Fage was aiming for those posts. It was a good kick. If he could have found, Lachlan Coote could have found Theo Fage, who's probably 20 metres to where the kick eventually was put in. But you can see the way that they're thinking, the way that they've set out with a game plan. Justin Holbrook has given his team a game plan they've bought into, and look at that scoreboard. So far it's worked.
Still half an hour to go. Could get painful for Wigan this, unless they can.
Well, that's what St Helens need to do, Bill. They need to make it painful for Wigan. The only thing that can probably make up for the disappointment of losing at Wembley is beating Wigan as Farrell goes through here.
Farrell has got the pass to Burgess but couldn't find the target.
Well, how many times have we seen that combination between George Williams and Liam Farrell over on the left-hand side? Look at that, he skips out, pulls in, pay route, creates some space, but the pass from Farrell just can't quite get to his teammate, Joe Burgess, who's in the clear. It's not going right for them, is it? But you've got to, again, you've got to credit the way Saints are defending. They're getting off the line, they're unsettling the Warriors. They're making errors on the back of strong defence.
Let's go. Bind. Out.
Roby. Here is Lomax now. Nagama. Saints already have the league leaders shield, of course, in the treasury here at the Totally Wicked Stadium, and would like to add that grand final Luke Thompson, Powell flattened.
Oh wow. And Morgan Smithy's getting his head in. Morgan Smithy's had a go with Zebtea, the tackle before as well. And Luke Thompson, he just picks out Sam Powell and rocks him backwards. Look at this, he's not changing his line for anybody, Thompson. He's been brilliant.
Frustration maybe creeping into the Wigan performance now, because they are just second best here. Coote's little kick ahead, again just too much on it, although he was prepared to give it chase.
Bill, in a derby game, when you're looking down at your fans and you're looking down at the big screen in the bottom left-hand side to where they're attacking from now, you'd be thinking, come on, we've got to be better than this. We don't want to be embarrassed here. And at the minute, you can hear from the Saints fans are loving this.
Hardacre. And here's Hankinson. That's a penalty. Whoa! Ironic cheers from the Wigan supporters.
They'll take that one. He ran hard, didn't he, Hankinson? Came back on the angle. It was a drop-off play. Zebteya made that tackle, but fell off after collision. And he earned that penalty, Chris Hankinson.
Cow. Now then, can Wigan upset Saints' control of this game? Here's Williams trying to skip his way through. McCarthy Scarsbrook with the tackle. Powell appealing. They get the penalty.
He knew what he was doing then, Lou McCarthy. Give the penalty away. They were under a bit of pressure.
Penalty try, they say, don't they?
Powell pointing the way. His pass to Luluai. Williams. Hardacre, but Hardacre Farge with the tackle. Wigan appeal, but referee Kendall saw nothing wrong with that. Farrell. Williams. Here is Morgan Smithies, 18 years of age, but really has stood tall for the Wigan Warriors this season. Young Player of the Year candidates. Hardacre kicks ahead, chases, but the ball ricochets and Thea Farge has to concede the goal line dropout.
Well, Warriors, this is where they need some sustained pressure if they can get it. Saints looking to change it over now, get Kyle Amor, Alex Worms, the young Aaron Smith on the field again.
Yeah, triple substitution. Does that mean to take James Robbie off? They've almost think, well, job done there now. They're going to rest him till the end of the game. Luke Thompson was sensational tonight. And Justin Holbrook will be hoping that the men aren't to replace him. He's maintain that pace and power.
He's been the best player on the field for me, Thompson. I don't know who's picking the man of the match, but it's a shame he's off.
Well, it's the viewers who'll be checking into the Our League app before too long. Once the Rugby League legends have chosen their contenders.
He must be on that fort. Must be in the fort.
Surely all be wearers of the red V, I'd have thought. As it was last night. It was all Salford last night, wasn't it?
Yes.
The Wigan enjoying a little bit of possession here. But running into some determined defence. Kyle Amor on for his 299th career appearance. How about a 300th at Old Trafford for the Cumbrian forward? Morgan Smithies for the Wigan Warriors.
Nice energy from those two players as well. Immediately lifting that intensity.
Luluai on to Williams. Peru.
Great defence. Great defence, Zebteya. Pressure from Kyle Amor. The last play. Look at that. That's what it means to say no lazy team ever wins silverware.
That's a sack. That's the equivalent to a sack in the NFL.
Don Peru with the tackle. That's sort of symptomatic of the dominance of Saints tonight, I think.
Well, Solomon Kyle Amor, his first involvement, he did exactly the same on the half-back. Alex Worms, they're looking at. Again, takes out Sam Powell, rocks him backwards, gets the offload away.
Aaron Smith it is. Back in action tonight, having missed the last 4 games. The young hooker.
I know he's bumped off a few tackles, Sam Powell, but credit to him playing with that wrist injury.
Amor with the offload to Aaron Smith. Saints with Coote, little dummy from the fullback. Plenty of playoff experience in him, with 12 playoff appearances for the North Queensland Cowboys. Here's Farge. Farge with a little kick ahead and scrambled away by Marshall.
Another well-constructed set of 6 from the Saints. And you've got a lot to deal with, haven't you?
Well, the Melbourne Storm in last week's NRL playoff game against the Parramatta Eels almost killed them with a number of goal line dropouts, repeatedly forcing them back here. And Saints are applying the same tactic, aren't they? If they can't score, they'll get the ball back.
Talking of which, you can see Melbourne against the Sydney Roosters tomorrow, 10:45, Sky Sports Arena, to decide who will face Canberra in their grand final.
Wait here. Wait here.
The Wigan fans really are subdued. They're seeing their side on the receiving end here tonight. And still with over a quarter of the game to go, and Saints scenting further points. Good tackle from Hankinson on Zebtaya. Here's Jack Ashworth. Yeah, good try from Ashworth.
Wait. Go for.
Smith. Oh, that's an intercept for Farrell.
Yeah, poor pass, wasn't it, from Smith? He was setting up on the left-hand side, as well as Gildart. Again, looks to get involved, keeps hold of it this time.
On goal line defence, you have to take time away. If everybody goes up, you have a good chance of snuffing out whatever they throw at you. But on that occasion, he ended up with the ball in his hands, Liam Farrell.
Go, that's free.
Here is Liam Farrell once again. He's another playoff veteran, Farrell. 23 playoff appearances for him now.
They've got enough experience out on the field, and you can't say it's the inexperienced players that are causing any problems. It's just a team effort from Saints that have been so dominant from the start of this game. What was it? 3 minutes it took for them to score the first try.
And I think there's a determination, knowing how well they did during the weekly rounds last year, and to fall so badly as they did at the back end. There's a determination. It stings you, that kind of memories. And the memories for St Helens are, let's get it right at top level.
Percival got away from the first line of defence. Now Lomax. Zebtaya. One of his Super League highlights was a hat-trick against the Wigan Warriors in his Catalan Dragons days. Fage will kick into Marshall's corner this time, but he's under no pressure, and Percival there to make the tackle.
Well, he called for it, Mark Percival. He was the man who went up for it as well. Again, there's some pressure from the big men. Kyle Amor, Alex Walmsley get off the line. He made that a slow play of the ball, and he has a tough task then, Liam Marshall, getting onto the back of that slow play of the ball and gaining any decent metres.
Just 10 metres made. And taking time, think time, and composure away from Wigan. And one of the most experienced players on this field makes a basic fundamental mistake.
Well, that's what it does to you. You can't make any metres.
It's a bad pass, that.
He takes them though, Phil. You know what I mean? What it does to your strong, aggressive defence. I've been there, bringing the ball away. You don't want to see your opponents flying in, and you don't want to hear the opposition fans celebrating like this. I know there's 20-odd minutes to go in the game, but like I said before, they're enjoying themselves here. The players then thrive on the atmosphere.
Well, another Wigan error, and will this one prove costly as well? Farrell's tackle on Coots. Percival. Here is Lomax now. Walmsley is back on the field. Oh, that's just what you need when your backs are against the wall as the Wigan Warriors. Here is Fage. Fage to Ashworth. Willie Isa makes the tackle. Club slows things down. Smith's pass. Amor sizing up the opposition and then going for it, Kyle Amor. A pass over the top. Well done. Beautifully done. And Percival will finish it off. That was improv from St Helens. And they've claimed another try. For a moment it looked as though that pass might have gone anywhere, but the handling to redeem that situation was superb. And Mark Percival joins in the points fest.
It was all instinct, that play. From the pressure again, Wigan Warriors on goal line D, getting up quick. You can see that pass is too hard for Alex Walmsley. Sensibly, he pulls his head out of the way, allowing it to go into the path of the recipient, Theo Fage, who as soon as he catches it, has to then deliver a pass. And that's just sublime rugby league, that.
You like the bravery of Theo Fage, the pressure that he's under when he gets that ball from Thomas Lulawai is incredible, yet he still manages to deliver a nice sweet pass to his teammate who doesn't break a stride, and then they shift it again to Mark Percival.
They've got a lonely 20 minutes here. None of the Wigan players have spoken. I guess there's probably not a lot you can say when you're 30 points behind with 20 minutes to go. This is a long time in a game of rugby, 20 minutes. You've got to wonder here now. It looks like it's every man for himself here now, just to survive and get to the end of the game. Very worrying times for Adrian Lamb. They've been blown away from the first 60 seconds. And there's a bit of pain still to come.
34-6. Wigan's lead. Coots from out wide. Misses with that one. Mark Percival, though, had a big game against Wigan in round one, and he's on the scoreboard tonight.
Oh, he was exceptional, but again, I look at that pass from Theo Fives to Johnny Lomax. That pass did the damage and created space for that man.
Well, what a way to bow out at the Totally Wicked Stadium for Justin Holbrook. Now then, Barry mentioned it earlier on, who is going to be the man of the match? It's down to the Rugby League legends watching this one to decide on the 4 contenders, and we'll let you know those shortly. And then the R-League app is the place to go to register your decision. Who gets your vote for the man of the match tonight? And there are any number of contenders. Luke Thompson out there, Johnny Lomax, Theo Fives, Dom Peyrou. That's just 4.
It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Yeah. I think Morgan Knowles has played very well. He's firmly made that number 13 role his own.
Who hasn't played well for Saints?
Marshall is underneath that kick. And here is Hardacre. The Saints fans at that end of the field enjoying Wigan's discomfort immensely.
They're just encouraging the team to fly off the line, and look at them, like I said before, they're enjoying this.
Just waiting for almost for the next mistake. Tommy Lulawai, this will hurt Wigan. A 4th defeat in a season at the hands of St Helens.
And they've got a week to recover to play against a Salford side who have no fear of anybody.
Well, they know how tough that's going to be from last week.
And it's a winning
defend for their lives.
Absolutely, and they will have learned against that Wigan side that they played 7 days ago, and it's a winning side in Salford playing a losing side in Wigan. I wonder what he's thinking.
Oh yes. And the CEO next to him, former captain of the club, Ian Blease.
They look forward to a trip to the DW Stadium next week.
I thought it was Thomas Shelby.
He looked a bit different than that when he played, Ian Blease.
Peaky blinder.
Yeah, I thought it was Thomas Shelby. Although he could be Arthur Bleasy, I think. He'd be more of an Arthur.
Hold, go 3.
Here is Kyle Amor now.
4. Move, Morgan! Turner! Hold!
And Aaron Smith. Peyrou.
They've got almost too many runners, haven't they, when they've got the ball? There's that many options for the ball carrier. Every white shirt seems to be in motion, offering himself as an attacking threat.
Oh, Coots absolutely flattened after the ball had gone by Tony Clubb.
Well, Tony Clubb, there was a bit of action for him last week with Jackson Hastings. He is one of those players that gets under the skin of the opposition. Late challenge.
It is his job to put pressure on kickers, pivots, and it's just how he applies that job and role.
Well, it's a shoulder charge, isn't it? He's made no attempt to tackle. He's gone through with the shoulder. I mean, the slow motion doesn't show whether he was committed or anywhere near the tackle, but it's the shoulder charge that certainly is my concern.
Would that be a sin bin then? Because traditionally on a kicker, they've viewed it worse, didn't they? A late tackle, a shoulder charge.
Well, he has the option of using the sin bin. I will say there's no contact with the head in that, but he does have the option of using the sin bin if he wants to do that.
Hasn't been a particularly spiteful or fractious game. It's a heavy hit, and his head rocks back, doesn't it?
It's got to be a sin bin.
Well, the good thing for Saints fans, and he's just had the OK from the physio, Lachlan Coote.
Chris Kendall, meanwhile, has taken advice, has summoned Tony Clubb.
After the ball's gone, you need to be very, very careful.
So that was just a clash of heads. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So listen. Remember, we've all got games in the coming weeks.
Pleading
Be very,
his
very
case.
careful what we're doing.
And that's as far as it's going to go.
Penalty here too.
Well, Chris Kendall said we've all got games coming up. We need to be careful.
You can't, surely.
He's a bit presumptuous, isn't he? He thinks he's getting picked next week.
Here is Kyle Amor. Can Saints exact revenge? No, because there's a knock-on by the Saints.
Well, under the sticks as well, was it Kyle Amor? Shaking the head from Justin Holbrook. As he's getting up, he's looking at planting that ball down. Yeah, there's a little bit of a wobble.
Let's go, back down,
from
boys.
Kyle Amor.
Let's bind.
There can't be any follow-up.
Well, the match review panel can still look at that incident. They'll look at every incident in the game, and when there was a possible dangerous throw at the other end, they'll look at that and they'll look at the other one as well.
Was that touched by a Saints player, or was it just a wild pass? Well, the referee, Chris Kendall, says that it was a wild pass. And again, the Saints players coming in to congratulate each other. Nice inside pressure on Zach Hardaker. Looking like there was 3 defenders, 3 attackers. Just if you're Zach Hardaker, instead of pushing the ball to the sideline, do you get down?
You might be right, Tez. I think is it the arm of Zeb Taylor?
Johnny Lomax, I think.
Johnny Lomax.
That's there or thereabouts, yeah. Low down. He's not looking at the ball. Yeah, it's Johnny Lomax.
I'll give you one, I'm not giving you 2.
That's it, he just got his hands on the ball.
Well, there you go, now they've been penalised for back-chatting to the referee, Chris Kendall.
Wigan really are rattled here tonight. Frustrated, embarrassed.
Well, let me tell you, with that scoreline, there will be those players and the fans and the staff will be really feeling this performance from Saints. But Saints, wow, they've been outstanding.
Well, quite a number of the Wigan fans have seen enough. And another Saints error.
You've got no balance, no control.
Alex Walmsley doesn't regain and regather his feet in an attempt to play that ball. And it's just got scrappy. And look at the man in attendance, Sean O'Loughlin. I'm not sure he'll make a difference to the result, but he might make a difference in the manner that they go down this last 13 minutes.
Time off. Come on. Let's go, bind.
So Saints, after a 5-year absence, returning to the Super League Grand Final on Saturday, October the 12th. Sky Sports Arena, 5 p.m. for that one. Justin Holbrook's final game in charge. Grand final information available at superleague.co.uk. And Old Trafford, the place to be on October the 12th. Certainly for Saints fans, who will be at the other end of the ground? Will it be those noisy Salford supporters who've really made themselves heard in these closing weeks of the season as their campaign has just got better and better? And now they will be licking their lips, surely.
They will. This has been a bruising encounter for Wigan. They've not had it their own way.
And bruising in terms of...
Let me tell you, look, they make a mistake here. There's good pressure. But in a Wigan Saints game, the build-up to a Wigan Saints game, there's a lot of pressure on you in the week. You play the game, it goes against you. There's a lot of pressure on you in the 80 minutes. And after that game then, knowing that you're up against the Salford side, that Adrian Lamb knows, and he talked about that they had 4 or 5 chances against them last week, Salford, to get that result. Salford will turn up at the DW Stadium full of confidence.
And just in reference to that game, I thought that the real highlight of that game was the Salford travelling fans. And last night's atmosphere was wonderful. I hope we get the same kind of atmosphere. I hope we get the same kind of travelling fans from those Salford faithful.
Lomax ball back on the inside to Morgan Knowles. And Saints obviously refreshed after their 2-week break. It's been a very lively performance from them from the word go. They looked energised. That Welsh mountain air is what's done it.
They need to try Ben Nevis next.
They could do the 3 peaks.
They could do. 24 hours. It's easy.
I'm not sure the conditioner would be happy with that strategy. Here's Theophage, the ball on, and it reaches Makinson. Makinson tries to kick it, well, does kick it back infield, did well there, but it's in Wigan hands.
Well, there'll be a lot going through the coach Justin Holbrook's mind now. Thinking, look, there's just over 10 minutes to go. We've got a 28-point advantage here. What do we do? Is it just about game management, getting to the end of the sets, just kicking the ball off the field? Do we start bringing off some of my big guns that need resting? An awful lot. It is mission accomplished for them. They've been good, but here go Wigan.
And Williams, an ankle tap from Aaron Smith, stops his progress. Right, let's see who are the man of the match contenders. They all are St Helens players, and Luke Thompson, Johnny Lomax, Theophage and Morgan Knowles. They are your 4 man of the match contenders. Head to the R-League app to make your choice. Who's your pick?
Can I tell you who mine is? Mine's Luke Thompson.
Yeah. Even though he's not on the field now, he's played a mighty chunk of the game.
He's done enough, and I know it's difficult because there's only 4 names, but if it was 5, Lachlan Coote would be on there, because I think he's controlled this ball, he's controlled his team, and his kicking game has played a big part in the performance. Another knock-on from Mark Percival.
You said it before, Bill, it's just getting a bit scrappy in the last 5 minutes. A mistake from Kyle Amor under the sticks, mistake from Alex Walmsley under the sticks, and now a mistake here, just getting up to play the ball. Again, the control has got to be there from Mark Percival. He's another player who's been good in this game.
Shake of the head from Mark Percival. Saints have not won a playoff match, or haven't until this evening, and since that 2014 Old Trafford defeat of Wigan, so this is a sweet way for them to experience that winning feeling in the playoffs. And it's back to the drawing board. Tony Clubb, a marked man.
Yeah, nice spot by Kyle Amor then. He knew exactly what was coming on.
Williams back to Sean O'Loughlin.
Well, that's not the play he needs. That's not the play. He's not the player to be there. Bevan French might be a better player to use in that situation.
Here is Williams. There was French. And there's Hankinson. Saints strong in defence. They haven't had to do an awful lot of that near their own try line tonight. French trying to open them up. Thought he'd seen a gap, but Saints react and shut the door on the new Wigan recruits. Can Wigan sign off with some points here? Willie Isa tries to get the pass away. The ball ricochets. The referee says...
Should be back to 1 here.
Should be, you're right.
Not so, says Chris Kendall.
Back to 1. Yeah, Willie Isa, he looked like he offloaded that ball, and then there was hands in there, the frantic defence. Look at this, he tries to offload it. Zeb Taylor.
Well, touches on this side. Clint Sharrett, you can see him in the picture there. He was calling for 6 more. Chris Kendall's made the decision that he was just a straight handover.
So Wigan, with just that 1 try to their name, scored by Liam Marshall after 19 minutes. The one moment of the night when they put it together.
That was marvellous. They've had a couple of opportunities. That was the only one really that they've taken. Johnny Lomax now leaves the field, as I said. Justin Holbrook looking now. Mission accomplished for him. He just needs to rest his players. I know that he still needs 13 men out there, but the ones who need a breather, just give them a breather before they get to the top.
Walmsley's pass to Percival. It was Walmsley playing like a centre. Percival to Grace, and Grace is tackled by Liam Marshall. Here is Coote now. Coote, Percival on his shoulder, gets the pass away. It's back to Aaron Smith. Smith's little kick ahead. And Saints competitive right to the end here. Burgess, nowhere for him to go.
Again, where do they go back to with the kick? They've got to have faith in the men that's inside him, in the middle. Look at this. It's about a bit of honesty from Saints. Look at that. He shapes to go left, kicks right, knowing that he's going to have some of his teammates going up there. It's Kyle Amor and Tommy Makinson who's come over from the right wing into the middle of the field looking for some action.
I think that sums up the night for Wigan Warriors. They should have got another 6 tackles. St Helens marched them all the way down and end up with another set of possession of having forced a goal line dropout.
Wigan went into this on a real surge of form. They've gone from 5th into 2nd place in the table with 7 successive wins. And that was, of course, assisted by the way Warrington, Catalan and Hull all tailed off in the closing weeks. Wigan certainly didn't, but they haven't been able to bring that form into this game tonight. They've conceded another try through Mark Percival, his 2nd of the night. And it goes from bad to worse for the Warriors. Their supporters head for the exits. Marshall thumps the ground. Wigan, humiliated is not too strong a word.
He's a big athlete, Mark Percival, isn't he? Over on the left-hand side, didn't make the dream team this year. To many people's surprise. And he has been a continuous thorn in the side of this Saints side. And you look at the damage again that's done from the likes of Lachlan Coote and Theo Page. When they go at the line, as defenders, you've got to make a decision. Do you go in and try and sack the half-back, or do you just try and buy a bit of space? You buy a bit of space, you back off, and you'll be punished by the likes of Mark Percival.
These are tired tackles now for Wigan. You can understand that with all of the territory and the advantage of the possession that they've had over the course of the game. This was inevitable this would happen. The last time Wigan suffered a defeat similar to this was on this ground back on Good Friday. 36 points to 10 on that occasion. It's a similar score today. But just a few days later, what did Wigan do in the next game? They beat the Salford Reds. So they can recover from these sort of hidings. There's not a lot of talk with those Wigan players behind the post now. They know tonight's over. They get one more chance to meet their arch rivals on the 12th of October in Manchester. But they're going to have to be a lot better than they've been for these 75 minutes we've seen here.
Coote will try and get this one back on target. He's missed with his last 2. He is. And St Helens hit 40 points to 6. So they are heading for Old Trafford. And the Wigan Warriors will have to regroup, have to get their heads back together and prepare to meet Ian Watson's Red Devils. Adrian Lamb with a lot to think about ahead of that game at the DW Stadium on Friday, October the 4th, 7 p.m. That playoff semi-final to decide who meets St Helens at Old Trafford.
I think he's going to be confident, Ian Watson. He'll have looked at how Saints have played against this Wigan Warriors side and talk about the start, talk about his big guns up front, the likes of Gil Dudson taking the ball to them along with Lee Mossop, the former Wigan Warrior, because that's what worked in the early stages with Walmsley and Thompson.
They might be confident. They've played them 4 times and lost on every occasion, so it's a massive challenge for Salford. But I agree with Barry's point. If Salford can take that army of fans, maybe even bring a few more as well, well, they've got every chance, I think. They really are riding high, and there's a passion and an emotion about the place as Jack Ashford takes it over the halfway line. The St Helens side have made over twice as much ground in this match as their opponents. I know they've had a lot more possession. That obviously helps, but even without that, that early control, the early 10 minutes, this game was over after 10 minutes because of the dominance that Saints had, and they managed to keep it going here. You've got to match the Saints in the opening 10 or it's over.
To finish off a game like that with you kick the ball and then all of a sudden you put pressure on. Yeah, they give a penalty away here. Maybe that's a bit of urgency. Maybe they're getting a bit carried away. But the kick pressure from Saints has been really good. Yeah, they're in front, and it's easy when you're in front. And that winning margin of 34 points, but this has been the best performance all year, which is really, really, all the games that they've won. To pick this one out and say it's been the best performance, well, there you go.
Well, it's the best performance. It's the best way that a St Helens coach can end his career at the St Helens club, at home, winning so convincingly against the team that their supporters have a pretty strong dislike for, really. It's the perfect send-off for Justin Albrook and his time here at the club.
Here's Bevan French. I tell you what, Zach Hardacre just in the shot there. I mean, if it hadn't been for his intervention on a number of occasions, it could be even worse for Wigan.
Totally agree.
He's been left exposed on a lot of occasions.
Well, the one thing Adrian Lamb can build on it, it's not been for a lack of effort.
Williams' little chip ahead, and Williams gets the ball, gets away from Coots. Trying to sign off for Wigan with some sort of positivity.
They're still trying, aren't they? They're still putting that effort in. They've been outclassed and outbeat, outfought in every department.
French. He does get something on the board for Wigan in the closing minutes. And Bevan French gets his 5th try for his new club. Wigan fans salute their side for at least going to the final whistle.
I think the Saints fans cheered louder than the Wigan fans then. That's just rubbing salt into the wounds, isn't it? He's a dangerous player, Bevan French. Got an awful lot of speed. They shift the ball out wide through Lula White and Zach Hardacre, and it's a one-on-one with Zeb Taylor. And if it's a foot race, if it's about speed and getting on the outside of a back rower, well, he's not going to be able to compete with Bevan French.
Making his 7th appearance in a row since his move from Parramatta. Bevan French, Zach Hardacre with the conversion attempt. Final minute of this game. Few Wigan fans have hung on to see. And Hardacre hits the post and kind of sums up Wigan's night, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. The Wigan fans, most of them are making their way to the exit, but no St Helens fans are. They will be absolutely thrilled to bits with what they've witnessed this evening, and confident that that big stage, that big game on October the 12th, Justin Holbrook's side can turn it on and lift that Super League trophy.
All the Saints fans shouting Salford now. And again, you look at the Wigan players who have to go back and stand near the back line in front. Oh, it's not nice. It is not nice.
I've had a lot worse things sang to me from opposing fans, Bill. That I would have taken that one.
Williams underneath that. Final 30 seconds of this one. And man of the match vote underway. The R-League app, the place to go to decide who's got that. It's tough to call, that is. Really is.
I'd still give it Luke Thompson.
I think he might get it. Got to try. Little kick ahead for Marshall to chase. Just too strong. Out of play. That's it. Handshakes from Richard Marshall, Justin Holbrook. Celebrations on the terracing for those Saints supporters. Stony-faced Wigan Warriors coach. And Saints are going to Old Trafford. And who will meet them there? That is the big question. Wigan or the Salford Red Devils? They will meet next Friday to decide who faces the Saints at the Theatre of Dreams. The Dreams, it's been a nightmare here tonight for the Wigan Warriors. A complete nightmare, virtually from the word go. When Theo Fage scored the first of those St Helens tries, Saints maintaining their 100% home record. They go through to a record 11th grand final. Wigan's 8-game winning run comes to an end. Wow. And in what sort of fashion is that against a red-hot St Helens side?
Well, England centre Mark Percival said that he wants to send Justin Holbrook out with a win at Old Trafford. Well, they've got to Old Trafford. Can they get the win? And Wigan have got to just lick the wounds, know that they've got to play again next Friday up against a Salford side that will really, really back themselves. Just beaten by 6 points last week at the DW Stadium. I'm sure that Ian Watson and the players will not be feared about going there, but let me tell you, that'll be a decent game.
Well, a game you will be able to see, of course, here on Sky Sports. Wigan against Salford then, 7 o'clock next Friday in that semi-final on Arena and main event. And the winners of that go through to the Betfred Super League Grand Final on Saturday.